Just made accidentally the biggest fucking Manhattan ever.
You're listening to The People's Pitch, the official podcast of Minneapolis City Soccer Club, brought to you by FootballStadiumPrince.com. Let's start the show.
And as I talked about just a couple minutes ago, as Joe Watt stands over this one, he appears to be the one taking the penalty here. This is a huge confidence booster if you're a Duluth.
Worst case scenario for City right here.
And it stopped! Yes! And it stopped!
Totally redeems himself.
Matt Elder redeeming himself. Oliver with the right foot. The shot is goal!
Oliver!
Justin Oliver will break the scoreless tie. And it is 1-0 Minneapolis City. It's Hutton now on the offense with the left foot. And it is now 2-0 Minneapolis City.
Good finish.
Nick Hutton taking his quick victory lap.
Soccer is almost back, pitches. Welcome to the People's Pitch podcast, the official podcast of Minneapolis City SC. As always, I am your host, Nate Morales, joined by my wonderful co-host, the always glowing soccer mind, John Bisworm. John, we're just counting down the hours here, man. It's a matter of minutes, nanoseconds until soccer begins, until the Minneapolis City season kicks off. Week after week, we tell ourselves it's almost too good to be true. It's hard to believe, but now it's right in front of our faces. Are you ready?
Dude, I mean, this is a big week for me because, and we'll find out a little bit, once we get into some of our guests here on I'll be supporting a coaching staff this week. Adam's gone, Dan's gone. I'm going to be helping with operations for the match against Karen. So I have a lot of logistic stuff. I've really been doing soccer all week, and it feels like a legit game week for me. And I'm super excited. Especially, I went to training last night. The guys are buzzing around the field. It's gonna be awesome. I'm so excited.
That is super exciting. Well, you know what's more exciting is tonight's show. It's so many interviews, 2 interviews actually. We are going to be talking Crow Camp first. We got Medo Yousef in the house. He's going to be on the horn talking about the best summer ever that your kid is going to have. We've got a little bit more on the upcoming friendly against Karen FA. And then it's Thursday with Tori. City coach Tori is in the house, and we are really excited to talk to her. She has had such an impact on this club. I'm really pumped. This is going to be a good interview. John, you can just taste the soccer on the air. So let's go.
I got the rubber turf pellets just in my teeth. I can taste them.
Oh, my strange addiction.
We are going to get this week's show off with a bang. We announced 3 weeks ago that the club will officially be dipping its toes back into the summer soccer camp waters in 2021. And with us today is one of the men who is in the front of that conversation. Please welcome back to the show, Medo Yousef. Welcome back, Medo. How are things going, man?
Great, man. Thank you for having me. How are things with you?
Just ready for the season to start, which we'll get into at the end of our conversation here. But things are good, man. Really happy to be talking about the fact that we're getting back into the youth arm of what we can potentially do. I mean, you're newer to the club, but we've tried this before. The idea of clinics that we or any sort of camp that we had originally started out with the coaches doing it, and then they were doing it 2 hours before game time for 30 minutes. It really never took off because it was kind of a logistical nightmare. And we didn't really. We were stretched so thin at that time where we didn't have things totally ironed out. So we made the collective decision as a club to just take a step back on that type of outreach, table it, and really try to fully bake the idea out into what I think we're at right now. So tell us a little bit about how this idea kind of got life breathed into it, and kind of what to expect here for camps for kids, now that it's back on the table for the club.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely excited for this opportunity. Jonah and I we're speaking a little bit about this, and we kind of decided we wanted to kind of dive into that situation and kind of have an impact on the community around us. I had the idea. When I played in Seattle, I had my coach. He had youth soccer clinics over the summer, and that's kind of what I worked on, and just kind of the impact that he had on the community, and kind of just kind of raising the kids the right way or showing them the right way to play the game is kind of was my motivation, or is my motivation. I think looking into it, we want it to be someplace where, it's fun for the kids. It's a place where, a parent can drop off their kids in the morning, 9 a.m., and come pick them up, after they're done with work. And it's kind of just, a trusted community where we're here to just make the kids have fun, but also teach them a little bit about soccer.
So in the club's official announcement, you were quoted saying that, and you mentioned it just now, that this kind of is your passion. But it was kind of leading back to the days when you were a youth playing soccer, really just for the fun of the sport. Tell us a little bit more about what that meant to you when you were younger, and what it really means to you to now take this next step up, maybe a little bit further than what you already mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, I was born in Egypt, and I lived there until I was 11 years old. And kind of the love of the game came from just playing street soccer with no structure, just me and my cousins and friends, and just coming out there and getting 2v2, 3v3, and just kind of really just enjoying the game, enjoying dribbling, enjoying passing, and just you kind of learn by just doing,
Yeah.
And when I came here when I was 11 years old, I kind of got into a more structured, where it was clubs where just like, all right, this is what we're going to do for practice. And it's kind of like that free flowing is also not there, where you're there to play a game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I want to bring the two elements where you're there to enjoy it, and for the kids who are there to enjoy it, but also get something out of it, have a little bit of structure, but a little bit of freedom for the kids to be able to enjoy what they're doing.
Yeah. Have you guys, so you and Jonah, as you were talking about this together, like what kind of a conversation did this idea come out of? Like, were you guys sitting around being like, hey, wouldn't it be great to hang out with some kids? Or were you both, you both kind of have, Jonah is a coach, or does like to help. I think he coaches at Augsburg, right? He helps out there. So obviously that's a big part of it, but like, as you guys are practicing, playing together, hanging out, like, when does the idea of starting a camp for kids over the summer come up?
Yeah, so like I said, I had this kind of experience before when I was in college. And actually, Samo was there too, and we were just kind of talking about, hey, wouldn't it be great to get involved and, have our own structure? Because Jonah's a coach, I'm a coach, but we kind of follow the structure of a club where it's like, okay, practice, this is what you got to do. But kind of just having Jonah and I's structure, and then, is impact on the kids, and how many and the different types of kids we can bring in, whether it's from Minneapolis or from Eden Prairie. We kind of have the same impact, and kind of teaching them the lesson as we go.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why it's actually works perfectly for Jonah and I is because Jonah's kind of that educator type of thing, or he's the soccer coach kind of thing, and I'm more of a logistics kind of guy. So I think that type of thing kind of helps us out, where Jonah's the one that's going to be always there, always on the field, and I'm going to be kind of doing behind the scenes type of work.
Sure.
Are you going to bring in any other members of the team to help you guys out? I know you mentioned Samo. Is there anyone else who expressed any interest?
Yeah, I mean, we're always open. Our goal was to bring in as many players as possible to coach the kids, because a lot of the Minneapolis City guys, they have experience that not many coaches in Minnesota do. I mean, Max played D1. He went to a bunch of NCAA tournaments, like Sam Ruiz. He won a national championship. So a lot of these guys have experience and love the game so much that they're still playing it at this level that I would love to have them there and coach these kids.
Sure. I mean, and then plus there's hopefully going to be some city volunteers and stuff, and it's like a real camp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a real thing, and especially with you on the logistics side, that'll be good for parents to know, like, what, considering that they've got, there's a ton of options out there for summer activities for their kids, right? What is really the plan from these camps that it's going to make them stand out to the average parent? What's going to be different about around this camp than, say, a whole summer long soccer program or something?
Yeah. So for me, the reason why I think this, when we start getting in, re-rolling into it, the reason why this will be different is just, it's all about the kids.
Sure.
So I know, and it's not just like you drop your kid and then we kind of just like let them do whatever we want. Like we put in the time to set up a nice structure for what we're going to be doing during these camps, and then just like understanding what the kid wants at these camps. So for me, we're going to have one coach per 10 to 12 players, so then we can actually focus on each kid and making sure that everybody's getting the attention and the detail they need.
Yeah, that was kind of my next question, is like, where, it's not like you're just dropping your kid off and they're just going to mess around all day. Like, where on the spectrum are these camps going to fall? If, like, one is loose pickups with randos and 10 is like the beep test that makes you run and puke.
Yeah. I think it's finding that balance in between. For me, the format that we have is, we would start out bringing everybody in, bringing the kids in, talking to them about the camp, talking to them about like values and things like that, and kind of going into a demo of, someone will demo what skills we will be working on during the day, and then
sure,
we'll have about, the first practice is going to be just kind of skills practice, teaching those skills, and then we'll take a little bit of a break, go into another practice with a different type of skill, whether it's dribbling, passing, defending, and then at the end, by I think 11 o'clock, we go into a scrimmage, a World Cup type of thing with 5v5s, and get those competition started. And then we kind of do, after that, we take lunch from 12 to 1. And then after that, we kind of follow the same thing we did in the morning, but with different types of skills.
Different skills, do it all over again.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. I mean, that kind of answered my next question, is like what that mix is going to look like between drills, lessons, free play. It sounds like, starting with demos, showing kids what's possible, and then getting into how to do it, and then giving them an opportunity to try it out in a game-like experience is pretty much the model for the week, huh?
Yeah, I think that's kind of just what we were looking at. And I think it's, again, just the balance of what we're trying to do is have it be a little bit of structure, but then also have them have that freedom to play the game and have that competition aspect in there. Yeah, I mean, and the camp is open for kids of all ages. I mean, basically 5 to 13, 5 to 14, depending on which email or website you're looking at. That's a huge range of kids, right? So I can see parents at both ends of the age range wondering, like, what's this camp going to look like for my 8-year-old who's just getting into soccer? And another set of parents asking, how about my 13-year-old who plays for Southeast or for Joy or Chanhassen United? Like, what are you guys doing to make sure that this is a good time for everyone and that everyone can learn something? Yeah, well, of course, first of all, they're going to be split up. So we're not going to have a 12-year-old facing a 5-year-old. But we kind of look into it as, for me, there's different coaches that kind of specialize with different ages, and that's what we're going to be looking into when we bring in these coaches, where it's going to be the 5-year-olds, let's say 5 to 6, they will be split up together. And for my philosophy for that type of age, where it's maybe like 5 through 9, it's less structure but more fun, because that's the age where you want to really drive the love of the game and just have them experience that and just wanting to come the next day.
Yeah.
Type of thing. For 11 to 13 years old, I think it's more, there is a little bit of structure where we're teaching skills precisely, but also having that freedom to be able to play.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think you bring up a good point. When you're looking at like the 5 to 7-year-old range, you want them to just start to focus on being comfortable and enjoying being around a soccer ball versus being like, a stickler on here's exactly how you should be, making a pass, or here's how you should be defending someone, because they just won't get the concepts. But having that fun element to it, I think is definitely the right path to go down for sure.
And at that age, you're still trying to discover. I mean, I don't want to say trying to discover who you are, because we're still trying to do that, but but you're still trying to discover like how you play the game, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. So you kind of want them to discover that on their own and not tell them, hey, your strength is passing. That's what you're going to be doing.
Yeah.
I mean, we were speaking just about this a little bit ago. There's a lot of guys that were so good at a certain age, and then they come 18, 19 years old. They have a completely different style, or just kind of fell off. So I think for me, when I was, I think 13, 14 years old, I was more of a passing player. And if you see me now, you would think, I don't think this guy ever passed the ball. Or I was more of a midfielder, I think having them discover that would be what's ideal for me, so they can discover it on their own and learn from their mistakes.
Yeah, and I think that's an important point too, to say like part of the objective of the whole week is to give kids opportunities at different positions and teach them lessons that they can take to their game at all positions, rather than saying, all right, who here's a defender?
Mm-hmm.
Here's what we're going to do. Who here wants to be a striker? Because of course everyone's going to say that, especially at a certain age. But it's nice to be able to provide that kind of free flowing environment where you can feel comfortable trying something different, trying something new, and understanding the POV of players that play on a totally different side of the field than you're used to.
Yeah.
So what? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And it's not only about soccer. I mean, the camp is great for soccer, but I really want to focus, and I mean, Jonah and I agree on this. We want to focus on the culture and the attitude of the kids coming in. I think playing the game the right way is what's most important. There's a lot of players that might be amazing, but they might be a liability on the field. So making the kids understand the attitude and the element of culture that comes into the game. I mean, we all know like Mo Salah, he's a guy, or Mane, a guy who's loved by people on the field, is kind of what we want our players to be, having the right attitude, understanding the game, and kind of understanding why we play the game, but also respecting people on and off the field.
Yeah.
So for the parent who's trying to figure out half day versus full day, give us a little bit of a look at maybe you talked a little bit about it, but like what's the differentiator, and why should maybe a certain age range of kid be maybe part of one versus the other when the parents are trying to make the decision?
For me, I think in that aspect, it kind of depends on the parent and what they want, and what they want their kids to be doing all day. I think, or like if they want to go half a day and then be able to have that time later to hang out with them, kind of depending on, I think for these type of ages where it's like 5 to 13 years old, they have so much energy that they can go up and down the field for 20 hours and they'll still be okay. But I mean, the element of when I was kind of coaching, and then the kids would come into the morning, and then they'd play, and then they come back and kind of they're at the end of the day they're tired. I think that's kind of like what I want, because at the end of the day they become tired, but they also went through this whole aspect of the day where it's like, okay, I look how much I've did the whole day, basically.
Yeah, there's a sense of accomplishment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think depending on the parent of what they would want to do with the hours, but I think for me, I think a full day is what's ideal. I mean, if I'm thinking about it as a parent and I just want to drop someone off somewhere that's trusted, somewhere that they're going to get a physical activity on, like the past year, it's been difficult to get people outside and to get people around it due to COVID. So just having that element of having the kids just be outside and being able to exert that energy that they've been holding in for 2 years is, I think, is fantastic.
So shifting gears a little bit, we would be remiss if we didn't at least ask. So the city season is right around the corner, literally right around the corner. What are you looking forward to this year, and what can we expect from the team and from Medo in 2021?
I'm looking forward to competing. I think that's one element here that I want to really drive through. I think for the team, I think we have high expectations. We want to win a national championship, and that's kind of what's on the cards for us. So that's what I look forward as a team. For me, I think just competing every day. I'm not the type of guy that sets a goal standard or assist standard. I think I'm the type of guy that goes, okay, I'm gonna go into the field, I'm gonna do my best, and I'm gonna try to win the game. Because for me, if I score 5 goals and have 5 assists and we lose 11-10, it doesn't matter to me, because then we just lost the game. Mm-hmm. So that's the element for me, is just about winning, and the teams also feels the same way. We just want to win a national championship.
When you, you spent, your first extended period of time playing with these guys over the fall, and now that you've gone through that league and practiced with the guys all winter indoors, and now we're getting ready for the season to ramp up. Is there anything that you just could never have imagined in the fall that you're like super excited for now? Or is there any one in particular, any like formation in particular that you're really excited for because the team is going to be amazing at executing it?
I think the camaraderie between the guys on this team is unbelievable. Kind of noticed it from the start, but it's kind of getting more and more as we go into the season. And if you remember in the fall, it was kind of like you would have 5v5. So like you would have that chemistry between the 5v5 teams, but not necessarily throughout the whole team. And coming into the season, just that chemistry starting to build between all the players is what's gonna bring us the accomplishments that we're looking for. So that's something that I'm definitely excited for. Just that connection and that chemistry between our players.
Not a lot of teams that you can throw the entire, you can throw any 11 out, out of the entire active roster and expect them to have that kind of chemistry. So I think that's one of the benefits for sure of you guys playing together during this very long off season as much as you have.
Yeah, and I think we have a lot of special players, so I think it's going to be exciting. And there's a lot of competition going on right now for people to get. We know that it doesn't matter really who starts; it's going to be a good team out there, and that's kind of what we're looking for in the spring.
Nice. Well, Medo, it's all happening, man. Besides the season almost being upon us, there's just a ton of soccer to get excited for all summer, because camps are June 14th to the 18th at Parade Grounds in Minneapolis. There's another camp offered June 21st to the 25th at the National Sports Center in Blaine. And then again, July 12th, my birthday, through July 16th in Eden Prairie. Very exciting for all of these kids. And the coolest thing is that it's not like if you live in Chanhassen, you're not going to have to make the choice of driving to Blaine, right? It's like there's going to be something happening generally in your backyard if you live in one of the northern or western or southern suburbs. So that's really great. Cost is $310 for the week if you want to do a full day. It's $185 for the week for a half day. And if you're a family that's got multiple kids, you can save $10 by registering them both at the same time. You can register now, nplscitysc.com/summer camp. Medo, anything else to add about the upcoming Crow camps?
Yeah, I mean, we are running some scholarships, depending on the players that are coming in. We do have some clearances. So I think if someone isn't able to have that price or hit that price, I think if they're able to communicate that with us, we'll be more than happy, because I think the most important thing for us, and that's something that's important for Minneapolis City, is reaching as many players and many people as possible. So just
that's
give
awesome.
us a phone call.
Is there a contact email or contact number for people to reach you guys at if anyone wants to talk about the camp?
There will be. We're going to be getting that set up real soon on the new Minneapolis City website that's coming in the not too distant future.
All right, awesome.
If someone needs a phone call to call right now, if we don't have that, I think my phone number would be perfect. So it'd be 952-688-3917.
All right, all Crow Camp inquiries go to Medo Yousef. Medo, thank you so much for joining us once again on the show. Super excited to see the camps in action. Really excited to see you in action starting this Saturday, May 1st, man. Hope you'll be there.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Medo.
Yep. Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
All right. Before we get Tori on, I want to remind people about the upcoming action this Saturday. As if you could forget, the Crows are returning to the field 11v11 in front of fans for the first time in what feels like forever. We are going to be forever. We are going to be squaring off against the Karen FA in a friendly over at the beautiful parade grounds near the Sculpture Garden and the Blake School. John, this is the first opportunity of the 2021 season for fans to get hyped for all the new City players. They can mentally snuggle up to the warmth of their old favorites. It's going to be so satisfying to be there and to see the guys hit the pitch. For some City fans, but some City fans, John, they might recognize a few players on that Karen team, right? It's not just going to be like a rec league team. Like these are high caliber, some ex NPSL players.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the most notable names that I'm aware of, I haven't seen the roster yet, but the Hutu brothers, Sunday and Kapow, they both played for VSLT. Sunday played for Stegmans for a little while. And then we have two Futures players, Ekuse, who is a goalkeeper, and then Mu Tu, who is a winger for the Futures program, who featured against the NPSL team last weekend. And Ekuse has featured in net against Shattuck St. Mary's. So it's nice. It's nice to see that, some of our future players are going to be lining up against us. But it's awesome. I mean, the whole event's going to be great. It's not going to be a full game day experience. If you are attending, it's going to be pretty bare bones. There's not going to be a PA. You're not going to be there on the mic. We're not going to be streaming it. We're not going to have, the full stadium experience. But we're going to have a great game for people to come out and watch.
Yeah, John, we've talked about it before, and you just touched on it. I really do expect this Karen team to be competitive, especially in this early stage of City season. We're going to have a team made up probably of players from across the developmental levels against, as we've mentioned, players that have NPSL experience, players that are at least good enough to be in the Minneapolis City system as well. From what you've seen, John, how do you expect Karen to play, and what is City preparing for?
I mean, I think I'll start with the latter first. I think it's less about what we're preparing to face and more about like going about our business. So, the focus of not only from a formation perspective and a playing style perspective, that's something we've been working on since December. But it's that mindset of like, no matter who we're facing, whatever it is, wherever it is, it's punch in, do the work, punch out, and get a result. So that's number one. What I think we're looking for. What to expect. I fully expect an organized side that's gonna fight hard, and that's gonna, like we mentioned, gonna have some talented players that we know of, some we probably don't know of. And it's just going to be a good opportunity for us to face a different type of opponent. It's not the Shattuck St. Mary's. It's not the Futures program. It's not Inter Minneapolis, who we've played a preseason friendly against behind closed doors. It's not those type of teams. It's a different style of play. And it'll be good for us to see that as we're gearing up for whatever we're going to face from these teams that we don't really know anything about in the NPSL North, literally until we play them for the first time.
Yeah, it's not like previous years where we are getting player announcements coming out of Duluth, coming out of Rochester, where we understand, how they usually operate. So every game this season has the potential to be a surprise, and I think this game against Karen is a good warm up to that kind of an environment in the NPSL North. That's a great
absolutely.
point.
Absolutely,
that's a great point. So like you said, there's no booth. Unfortunately, I'm definitely looking forward myself to being in the stands with the rest of the fans. John, are you going to be on the bench? Are you going to be pacing in the parking lot?
Yeah, throwing up in the trash can, all nervous. No, I mean, I fully expect you to be put to work, Nate, even though you're not going to be in the booth. Well, we'll find a job for you to do, but you'll definitely be able to watch the game. I promise that. I will be. I'll be doing a lot of things. I'll be helping out on the operations side, make sure things are running smooth. Got some new members of the operations and game day staff that's going to be there. The interns, the intern crop's going to be there. So there'll be a little bit of that, just getting introduced to those folks and getting them, getting them to fall in line right away. And then hopping over to the other side. We have some coaching shifting going on because of State Cup this weekend, where our coaches are off coaching their other teams that will be ending before the summer season starts. So, that's why I'm here. I get called off the bench to sit on the bench.
I get it, man. I get it. Well, this is a ticketed event, friends. It's not just like you're going to be able to roll up and jump the fence. We are definitely trying to help make some money for Karen FA. So, by all means, if you want to get a piece of the action, you're going to have to head on over to mplscitysc.com, click on shop, then tickets, and boom, there you go. You can buy your tickets there. Of course, members get in with just your membership card. You've already paid, and this is one of those games of the many that you're going to get in with just that membership card. So if maybe you're interested in grabbing a membership before the season begins, I think now is the perfect time. There's going to be so much soccer. I just was putting it on the calendar, John, between the NPSL, between the UPSL, between playoffs for both of those teams. Hopefully, potentially
friendlies later on in the summer. I mean,
exactly.
So much.
Easily, you get a game every Saturday, a home game every Saturday, almost guaranteed. And what is a membership? $60, $80? I don't even remember. We probably say at the end of it. It's so cheap.
Yeah. I think it was $60. Now it's 80. I think.
Yeah, you should do it.
Yeah, just go buy it.
Of course, if you want to learn more about Karen FA, you can head over to karenfa.com. That's KARENFA.com and learn more, as well as see the ways that you can help support them through their fundraising efforts. So really excited for this Saturday. Really excited to see both teams hit the pitch. I cannot wait.
Soccer's a gift. Open it. We have already met some of the new additions to the coaching staff, but tonight we are pleased to welcome NPSL assistant coach and total badass, Tori Burnett, to the show. Tori, how are you doing tonight? And thank you for taking the time to be with us after a very busy day on the field coaching.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. I'm also going to need that added to my job title, please. And thank you, John. Certified badass.
Total badass. That should be in like related skills, I think, on the resume.
I think so too. Yeah.
So you were officially introduced, which is hard to believe, many months ago. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago. It seems like yesterday, but we've done a ton of work together since then, and you've had a ton of involvement with the team. But for listeners of the show who maybe don't know you, beyond the brief knowledge that was in our initial announcement that you were joining our staff, we ask all of our first-time guests, tell us your soccer journey, like where you started and all the way through where you're at today.
For sure. So I grew up in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And yeah, don't ask me why I moved here. It was for soccer. Don't shout at me. I know it's more beautiful there. But yeah, so I grew up in Colorado, started playing, rec soccer when I was I was 4. Loved it. Was the only sport that I was actually decent at. So kept at it. Played with the Pride Predators growing up, who now are an ECNL club, which is just so cool to see them and see that club just grow and get so much better. So I was really, really fortunate that I had some phenomenal coaches growing up that kind of knew the pathway to get to big time soccer and just, taught me a lot of what I know. Probably my most influential coach, her name's Shawn Hudson. She was the captain of the Welsh national team in the early 2000s. Yeah. Boss. Now is the head coach at LSU. So she kind of came in and turned that club around. Went to the Final Four in her first year with UCCS, which is a D2 school in my hometown. So she is an absolute baller. And I was very, very fortunate that she was my just kind of that really influential coach that made me love the game. And yeah, so got me to the University of Minnesota. So I played there for 4 years under Stephanie Golan. Had a wonderful time. I was recruited as an outside back, and then Crystal Seidel, who's now my boss at McAllister, decided I was a little too slow and not good enough on the ball to be an outside back. So luckily she let me be a center back though. So that was awesome. I love center back. I love defending. And yeah, so played for 4 years. We won a couple Big Ten championships. I was very fortunate to play with some really, really amazing players. And then, yeah, graduated. Like I said, Crystal scooped me up. We've been coaching at McAllister for the past 3 seasons together. I bounced around to a couple clubs in the area, and I've landed Fusion and Tonka Fusion Elite. So I've been here this will be my first full season this summer with them, and I'm really, really excited. I've got a 2008 girls team and a 2005 girls team. And then I also now have City, and that's me.
And that's where you're at today.
Here I am.
How did you get introduced to Minneapolis City, Tori? And how did that road lead you to taking the job as an assistant coach? What about the club intrigued you to join the Murder?
So initially I was just a fan. So Justin and Tyler Oliver are really good buddies of mine. They were just always around in college, and I've known them for quite some time now. And so the first time I ever watched a City game was literally in the stands as a fan watching Justin. And so that was in 2019. And, it was just a really awesome atmosphere. Everyone's singing, and it's good soccer, really intense soccer, just a lot of fun. Right. And so that was my first, experience with City. And from there, it was always on the radar. I always followed Justin, loved watching him play. And then, came to Fusion last summer, was coaching a summer camp right next to Matt MVB. I'm not going to say his last name because I'm going to mess it up and he'll get mad. But I was coaching next to him, and there were a couple, who's there? Samo was there, and Jonah was there. And something about one of my sessions apparently caught Matt's eye. And he's like, yeah, you're good at this. You want to come maybe see what this is about? And at that point, Allie Leapshire was still here. And we were kind of following each other around, pretty much coaching all the same teams. So we just went and watched. They had what was it, 7v7, John?
Yeah, yep. In the fall league, yep.
Yep. Oh, yeah. So in the fall, we just went and watched, and the first thing Allie said was, that is the most diverse field I've seen in Minnesota yet. It's true. And it's kind of a jokey thing, and it's but that matters a lot to us, and that's something that we just don't find a lot, especially in the women's game. So that was a really, really big draw to me for sure. And also obviously just the level, like I love coaching all of my girls teams and I love coaching college women. But there's obviously it's semi-pro men's soccer, right? It's just a different level. So all those things kind of drew me to it. And, I had a couple conversations with Matt and Adam, and we decided that it would be a beneficial opportunity for both of us. And yeah, so joined the staff, I guess, officially in like October, November. And, we really hit the ground running and had sessions on sessions since January. So it's been awesome.
Now that you've been since you've been a college player and a club coach, how does preparation for an NPSL season compare to both of those environments? Obviously, with club coaching, you've got a system that you need to adhere to, probably a lot like Minneapolis City, but it's totally different to prepare a group of, I don't know, 13-year-old girls versus a group of, NPSL ready men, or a group of 21 prepare as a group of 18 to 21-year-old women. How does that all differ, and what's the approach that you're taking with this upcoming season?
Yeah, and I think you just highlighted like the coolest part of my job is that I have so many different groups of people that I get to work with.
Yeah.
So it's fun to just kind of like, every day is different, every session's different, and it's just really engaging and exciting just to be around all those different people. And I would say, one of the things that's tough, we only train once or twice a week, right? Like in all the other places I am, we have lots of sessions, we have lots of time to get through all the things we need to get through. So yeah, that's a big piece that we have to think about is, okay, what are the things that are most important? And we're really lucky that, the guys that we have coming in are very technical, are very fit, or at least getting there. And, we don't have to spend a whole heck of a lot of time on those details, but we've definitely worked through a lot of our tactical style and what we want to do when we have the ball and when we don't have the ball. And for me personally, I was a defender in college. I love defending. I think the press is just like when a press is on and like everything is working beautifully, like I could cry. I get so excited. It's so beautiful. It's so exciting to me. And so that's kind of what I've been tasked to focus on with these men. And it's been really, really fun and different because it is very different. Again, pressing 13-year-old girls is very different than pressing NPSL men, right? They can hit different balls and get out in different ways. So it's been really, really fun figuring out how to bring that expertise to this level. And I'm really happy with where we're at now. The conversations around what we do and why we do it are engaging and really test my knowledge, but it's awesome. And I think that I think we're in a really good spot. I mean, again, I've only been here for a couple months, but the guys who have been here for a while all say the same thing, that we're way more organized than we ever have been coming into the first game of the season. So that's really exciting.
So there was a lot of buzz around like our slice of the soccer pie when Minneapolis brought in not only yourself, but also Allie for a short period of time before we loaned her out to a professional club. Which the buzz around it really revolved around the fact that it is the first time in NPSL history where there's more than one female on a coaching staff. And I mean, from a club perspective, we believe that regardless of gender, a quality coach and a quality soccer mind is a quality coach or a quality soccer mind. And I think, in my opinion, you've made a huge impact in your first preseason. What's the reception been like, not only from the guys on the team so far, but also maybe some other people that you come across in your other coaching opportunities or jobs in the cities?
Yeah. And, I think it was an adjustment period for both of us, for sure. And by both of us, I mean the players and myself. And initially, it's literally just them learning how to listen for my voice, because my voice is obviously very different than Mr. Adams over there with his booming, crazy voice sometimes. You know what I mean?
Billowing, yes. Baritone voice.
Yes. So that's like definitely something that you just literally, your ears have to get ready for it, And I I ran a session in February for the first time, kind of by myself. I was the head or the lead role for that night. And I asked them afterwards, I was like, how many of you have ever been like actually coached by a woman before? And nobody raised their hand out of 40 guys.
I thought that'd be the case.
And, for some reason that kind of blew my mind, and I guess it shouldn't have, but yeah, so I feel really lucky that people are trusting me enough to be in this role. And, for me, I think the turning point was after a few of those sessions and after they saw kind of what I was talking about and saw that it was working, players coming up to me after sessions and just asking questions and being like, hey, did you see this? What did you think about this? Where was I here? When the players come and ask you for your opinion or advice or what have you, that's when I feel like, they trust me enough to hear what I'm saying. So I'm very fortunate that I feel like I'm there with a lot of the players, and Matt and Adam are phenomenal, and all of you guys have been super welcoming to me. And I think that's really important, like as much as you can say, yeah, a good coach is a good coach regardless of gender, that's still really different when somebody, when a woman walks in the door for the first time. And so I think that you guys have done a really awesome job welcoming me, elevating my voice, opening space for me to have a voice. And again, I think that's really important. It goes both ways, right? Like I trust myself, you guys trust me. And now that I'm in the door and everything's open and ready and we all know what to do, like we're running on all cylinders for sure.
What about from outside the club? Like anyone within, Tonka Fusion, parents, anyone like that? Has anyone given you any
are eyebrows raised when you say you're an NPSL coach?
I get a lot of hell yeah. That's,
nice.
That's usually the response. It's like, hell yeah, that's awesome. Every once in a while, other people will ask, how does that work? Or what's going on? A lot of people ask me that know me. They're like, wait, you're coaching Justin Oliver? That's amazing. Do you make him run all the time? I'm like, not quite. Can't quite do that. But
no, he's lazy. He only runs when he wants to.
He's got a pulled groin half the time.
Hey, he's been so much better this season. I swear. He's on a different level. I swear.
He is. Totally is. I concur on that.
But yeah, I think it's initially it's shock always. They're like, wait, whoa, men? Are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, it's sweet. And then it turns into a hell yeah, good for you. Go crush it type of thing. So it's been awesome.
Nice.
There seems to be, you touched on it a little bit. There seems to be an erosion, like this generational shift really in how things are being done in the sports world. And between the NFL, the NBA, the Jill Ellis to the MLS rumors, like there is this exciting erosion of the idea that the old way of sports, like things in sports don't work unless they're done a certain way, right? That's flying out the window very, very quickly. So working as you do with younger generations, do you think this is just the tip of the iceberg? Like, are we standing on the precipice of something really, really great here for the sport, for women, for everyone participating?
I hope so. And the funny thing is if you asked any female athlete ever, raise your hand if you've been coached by a male, every single one of them would raise their hand.
Of course.
If you ask them, have they ever been coached by a female? I bet probably only half, maybe 2/3, So like that's, for me, that's like the initial piece is I want more women coaching women and young girls, just because having that role model, again, for me, like that is such a turning point in my life, and such seeing a strong, badass female, like take it to those big boy clubs and like beat the crap out of them. Love that. Like that inspired me to do what I'm doing now. Right. But I do think, again, like you look at like Becky Hammond, right? Who's just like over there smashing it with the Spurs, and everybody who's around her says, yeah, this is the way it works. She's a great coach, and we just move on. And I think no matter where you are, more diverse opinions and views on the game and on the world is a good thing, right? And if you only ever have one gender, one race, one age giving you ideas and giving you solutions, then of course it's going to remain in the status quo. So I think as much as we can diversify in all areas and elevate a multitude of different voices that maybe haven't had the table, I think that it'll continue to grow any and all sports. At least I hope.
Well, there's always room for innovation. I mean, in no matter what sport you're in. And, you know, like Nate mentioned, it's just that mind shift that it can come from someone who you may think is non-traditional in your specific sport. And I think it's great because you have to have innovation in sport and you have to be inclusive of all opinions, whether you agree with them or not, because that's what continues to push the game, whatever game you're in, further. And I think you both nailed it. I think it's an awesome thing to see, and it's only going to get even greater over time.
Yeah, for sure. Tori, when I was at practice, I saw you jump in and start playing 11-a-side in training, and that's definitely something I've never seen Adam do. I've never seen Matt do. I've never seen any of the city coaches over the last 6 years do. How valuable is it, do you think, for a player to have a coach that can experience what they're putting up on the whiteboard in real time from a player's perspective and understand what everyone is seeing?
Yeah, that kicked my ass. I'm just gonna throw that out there. That our men are.
Well, you were, to be fair, you were playing like right wing when, like you said, you're a defender, or center back. So I get it.
Know. I thought about being center back, and then I thought about having to chase down Medo, and I said no way. So no, it was really, really awesome actually. Because again, I think for me, my mind always thinks defensively, and that was what big piece that I was trying to figure out is in the press. Where do we want those forwards to be? How can we manipulate this a little bit? And so you're right, like being there and seeing it again, the highest level I played at was collegiate women's soccer, right? So seeing NPSL men and how they move, and again, just the angles are completely different because they can play different passes and they can move a little bit differently. So yeah, honestly, I think it helped a lot. I think I definitely need to up my cardio a little bit for sure as well. So just lots of learning for sure.
I mean, I can speak from experience. I used to do that a lot, and I have slowly stopped. And then last fall in that sevens league was honestly the point in time.
That was it.
That was it. It's not for me anymore.
That would have been a tough day for John Bisworm.
Dude, the defibrillator needed to be charged up on the sidelines. Oh man.
Earlier on the show, Medo pointed out that women's teams in Minnesota are just good. They're just flat out consistently better than men's sides here around the state. Do you agree? Do you find that that's true? And as a coach of girls, like women and men all together, but separately, what do you attribute that to? That the women's development in the state seems to be better right now.
Yeah, I think again, it depends on where you're looking, and it depends on obviously like Minnesota, up until St. Thomas is going D1, went D1, who knows what's happening with that, right? But the only Division I program in the state was the Gophers, right? So that one just allows you a better pathway there. I just think it's different, right? I don't think maybe one is better than the other, but I also think that if you look across the board at the boys who play sports in Minnesota, what are the big sports in Minnesota for boys? Hockey, basketball,
lacrosse.
I don't know, baseball,
lacrosse,
probably football.
Growing. Yep.
But soccer's we still haven't hit soccer yet, right? What are the big sports in Minnesota for girls? Still hockey, volleyball, basketball, soccer. Those are probably pretty much the only four. So again, I think there's just like more opportunity and more diversity in the boys' side to play more sports, which is good. But obviously that just spreads your talent thinner. So girls, and again, you see the women's national team everywhere, right? And every little girl wants to be Alex Morgan. Every little girl wants to be Mallory Pugh, right? Like those are really cool humans to be. And so that is something to strive for. And I think that drives a lot of young girls to play soccer, because the women's national team is arguably the most visible team, women's team.
Yeah.
In the world, probably, right?
In the world,
like,
for sure.
You can't name a softball team or a volleyball team or any other team like that. And maybe women's hockey in Minnesota, right? They do a great job.
Maybe WNBA.
Maybe WNBA too, for sure.
Like one or two players, but one of them because they're Megan Rapinoe's wife.
Absolutely, right? Sue Bird. Sue Bird, right? And so that's what I'm saying is I think that social media and just that image really does drive a lot of people to the sport. So I think that we gather more. The net is broader on the girls' side to get more players, and therefore you're getting more talented players across the board. Versus boys just have a little bit more opportunity to play different sports, which is not a bad thing. But again, just spreads the talent a little bit thinner.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
So last question before we dive into one of our world famous games here. We love the games on the show. So this Saturday we take on last preseason friendly, which each season is our highest profile match in the preseason and what you could kind of call our dry run before we go live. But this match has another significance as you're going to be leading the Crows as the head coach. Talk us through what that means for you and what your expectations are for your first match in charge, other than it being your dry run for when MVB gets kicked out at some point, if inevitably.
True.
The red card is coming.
I think it's a good thing to give me the reins for a second, just because the odds that happens where both him and Adam get kicked out are probably high. But yeah, no, I'm still not really sure who let me be in charge, but I'm here for it. We'll make it happen. I know I'm really excited. I think we finally have a beautiful Saturday to play some soccer, which of course Minnesota, we were sitting there in the snow last weekend, and we're going to have 80 degrees and a beautiful field to play on this weekend. So hoping that brings out some beautiful play from us. And like I said, I'm really happy with where we're at. I think that the players have really bought into what we're trying to do. Things feel really fluid. The vibes are really good. Like, John, you're on the group chat. Like, everyone's ragging on each other and just having a great time and interacting with each other. So I think that's great. Yeah, I think expectations are just to play well, right? Like, I don't care about the score. I don't really care about what happens. I just want us to continue to build our product and continue to build our style of play and just feel really, really confident with what we're bringing to that first game in the NPSL.
Awesome. The first part, now on to the hard part. We played many games on we played many games on the show, and we have a new here. So
Crowfax.
Here's how it works. Pretty cut and dry, to be honest with you. We're going to ask you questions they can be about the club, maybe a player, just about. All we're asking for is for you to give your best shot at the answer. If you give the answer, if you don't, could be. Every person has gone through this. The example question wrong, so expectation,
which is not a good sign.
Yeah, it's not a good sign. So an example question would be like, what member of the Crows coaching goes by the nickname Smash? And you would
Adam
Pribble. So you're one probably going for that right. So
how could it be anybody else?
Well, no, the usual example is who's the shortest ever Crow, wasn't it? And it's always Wexler.
Yeah. Oh,
not something I think you would know. I know those questions. So you don't want to.
Got it.
So does the game make sense?
We're on the same wavelength. Yes, we're on the same wavelength, John. So that's good.
Okay, good. So makes sense. You good to go?
Got you.
Okay, so question number 1. In our 5 years in the NPSL, we have seen pretty much the same cast of opponents that we've murdered. Can you name the three? Can you name the 3 teams that no longer are with us in the NPSL North of those past 5 years?
One of them we never played a game against.
Yes.
There's absolutely no way. But I know.
Do you know any of the other teams around Minnesota, perhaps, that no longer are teams?
I mean, FC Minnesota, but obviously because they went up, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know. There's no way. I pass.
Okay, the pass. Yeah,
Can
well,
I phone a friend?
You could, but I think that our free technology that we have on this show might not allow us to bring another person in.
My friend
quickly.
is going to be you.
Okay. Well, if you're phoning me, the answer is the Minnesota Twin Stars. VSLT, which Nate stands for what?
Viejos son los trapos.
Yep.
The old rags.
The old rags. And then the team that Nate was alluding to would be the Milwaukee Torrent, which we just feared out of the division after the COVID season.
There you go.
They're going to pretend like they were too good. They were too good for the division, but we know better.
Yeah, we know better. I think they've won 4 games in 3 years.
There you go. That's a good stat.
Yep. Real great stat. Number 2, question number 2. Okay, so we're not off to a great start, but we have 2 more. We have 2 more. Number 2, Belgrade, Minnesota, which don't worry, I had no idea that existed.
The Serbs
either.
are here?
Yeah. Belgrade, Minnesota is known for what crow-related fact?
Belgrade, Minnesota. Is that a real place?
It is a real place. I did the research on this one, looked it up.
You got to know that my geography skills are like at a 0%, so that doesn't help.
Well, I mean, think about the
fact.
Yeah.
Is that where the most murders from a crow have happened in Minnesota? The most people have been killed.
Oh man, love it.
One person.
Not the answer,
right?
But
the only person to be killed by a crow in Minnesota was in that city.
That is not correct, but A for effort.
I love it.
I made you both laugh. That counts.
Belgrade, Minnesota, which really no one should know where it is unless you live there, is the home of the world's largest crow. They have a 20-foot tall, 3,000-pound crow that was built in 1988 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Minnesota becoming a state. I don't know how that all correlates together.
Makes total sense.
Isn't our state bird the loon, though?
Yes. Maybe they started it as a loon and it was totally fucked up, so they turned it into a crow.
They're just like, well, if we put red eyes in this thing, that's going to be real creepy, so never mind.
Yeah.
It's a crow.
Yeah. So what I like to say, though, is even if you don't do well at this game, it's a learning experience for the person playing it to learn about the bird.
Belgrade, Minnesota.
Yep. So road trip, we're going to get a team picture in front of the world's tallest crow. Okay. Last question. This is the redeemer, I'm hoping.
Uh-oh.
In the summer of 2019, Dutch street art group Kamp Seedorf came to town to put up some crow-related murals around the cities, as well as a Prince mural on the Greenway. Which crow legend did they put up on the side of the club shop?
I want to say Bob, but I don't think it is. Is it a goalkeeper?
No, Matt did have a mural, but his was in Riverside. I mean,
okay, those two did have murals though, right? Ba had one and Matt had one.
Yes, you're correct. Ba's, I think, was more closer to downtown. But on the side of the club shop,
where I'm sure you've been to pick up all of the merch that you've ordered.
I have been there once, and I honestly can't remember who's on the side. That's so sad.
It's okay. Crowfax is hard. It's not for everybody.
Who is it? That's gonna bug me.
Junior.
Oh, dang. That's right.
So I thought you might get that one. I mean, you started off with a bang. You got the test question right.
I know.
So, or the freebie right. But I did throw some hearts at you. But now you know more about the league.
Now I know.
You know more about Belgrade, Minnesota, and now you know that.
Yeah.
It is Martin Brown Jr. on the side of the club shop.
There we go. We know all those things.
Yes,
absolutely.
Tori, it's been super awesome talking to you. Every once in a while, I'll say personally, every once in a while, John and I have an interview where it's someone that we've never talked to before that just is the whole interview just glides. It's so great. This was great. This was so much fun. So I'm really excited to see you on the sidelines on Saturday. Super excited to see you on the sidelines for the rest of the season. It's gonna be a great one. And I got to before we sign off, I got to get your prediction. NPSL standings by the time July 30th rolls around. What do you got?
Oh, City to the moon.
Nice.
You know it.
There we go. Tori Burnett, assistant coach of Minneapolis City. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you and talk to you many times again in the future, I guarantee.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful night.
All right, go eat dinner.
Thanks.
All right, bye-bye. So that is all for this week's show, folks. Thank you to our new show sponsor, footballstadiumprints.com. You guys, seriously, we have started a trend partnering with footballstadiumprints.com. They are so hot right now, just kicking out versions upon versions of every awesome stadium in the world with their new line drawing style. Too many to even list. So just go check out their stuff and buy something. And remember, footballstadiumprints.com, maybe an English bloke in Scotland, a British bloke, I guess you could say, in Scotland, a Scottish bloke.
Wait, he's in
whatever.
Scotland?
Whatever. He's in that. But he may just be a single guy in a European country kicking out some great art. But all U.S. orders ship right from the U.S. There are no additional international shipping charges, which is pretty huge. And what's better, City fans, you can head over to footballstadiumprints.com, check out the new Edor Nelson shirt and print designs, and use the code CROWS10 to save 10% off your purchase. So
nothing's better.
Nothing's better. That's CROWS10, and you can rock the home of the Crows or any of the other lesser teams, I suppose, whenever you go out on the town. Thank you again to our friends at footballstadiumprints.com. If giving back to the community means a lot to you, maybe it's time to give to the club that loves to give back. Minneapolis City is a 501c3 that provides a safe, reliable, and fun environment for young people to play the beautiful game, like our upcoming summer camps, as well as our Futures Program Scholarship Fund. So consider a tax-deductible donation to a true city-focused organization. The season is literally right around the corner, a few days away. And I'm sure there's questions abound out there that people want to have about whether it's things about the team people want to investigate or any questions we can possibly answer. So send us mail. It's super easy. You can hit us up on Twitter at The People's Pitch or through email at mcscpodcast@gmail.com. All questions, comments, and concerns are welcome. And finally, as always, complain to Dan. You can hit up the club on Twitter at MPLS City SC. Thanks for joining us this week. Awesome show. That does it for us. Man, Nate, we covered a lot.
Yeah, a lot of ground.
I'm John. That was Medo Yousef and Coach Tori Burnett. And of course, that was Nate. We are back Saturday, friends. So get your tickets and do not miss out. And you got hooked.